I don't know if you guys heard about this yet, but let me tell you about Johnny Noviejo. Johnny Noviejo has a digital footprint of him supporting Donald Trump since 2016, all up and down his timeline in Facebook. Johnny Noviejo strongly supported Donald Trump's strong and tough immigration laws and was calling for them to be enforced sooner rather than later. Johnny Noviejo actually even reposted a post stating that the Trump train is unstoppable. See, the problem is, Johnny Noviejo was a Canadian-born man. He's not from America. Even though Johnny Noviejo gained lawful permanent residency here in the United States back in 1991, he was detained by ICE. You see, Johnny Noviejo was facing deportation due to a 2023 conviction on racketeering and drug trafficking. Yeah. Titan, I'm coming. And on June 23rd, 2025, Johnny Noviejo was found unresponsive and now marks the 8th person to have passed away, to have been found deceased in ICE custody. My dog want me so bad. And now Canadian officials are seeking more information on what happened. How did this happen? You can find all this information on the New York Times, on USA Today, on the Washington Post. It's all in there. But main point of the story is don't be like Johnny Noviejo.
Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel, and thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So guys, we are going to be checking out this video which I was able to gather for you guys. Feel free to watch them and let me know what you think about them in the comment section. What do you guys also think about the first clip of this video? I'm going to be under the comment section to read all your amazing content. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you still waiting for? Please subscribe and turn on your bell icon so you do not get to miss any of my future upload.
Hey, so tomorrow's when it all changes. It starts in DC tomorrow. That's the first city that he takes over. The curfew. There's a curfew in DC now, by the way. Citywide curfew starting at one time. There's like a juvenile curfew. This is the federal takeover. This is it. So, come and take it.
I believe Trump is being used by God to destroy the infrastructure that has been set up to enslave us for so long.
What is the deal with people thinking God sends politicians to fix things? Here's a crazy idea, something you didn't think about. If God was to send a politician to the United States, it wouldn't be to fix anything. It would be to test the moral decay of our society and see where we are as a whole throughout society. Did that ever occur to you? That Donald Trump is a test sent by God, that we failed miserably? That is just as probable as Donald Trump fixing anything. Or we could go with the most likely answer, in that God has absolutely nothing to do with it at all. Yeah. To me, if God was going to do something, he would just wipe us out. Maybe that's next. Thanks.
The president? He's not leaving that White House. Not now, not ever. And if you think he had any intention of walking out on January 20th with a smile and a wave, you haven't been paying attention. We're not even a year in, and he has already laid the groundwork, brick by brick, step by step. And that tired little counterpoint of he can't do that or he's not gonna do that, it's dead, buried, 6 feet under. He's already shown you exactly who he is, a man willing to send an armed mob to attack Congress just to hold on to power. Look at the record. 7 months. That's all it's been. He has now attempted to suspend habeas corpus. He has defied court orders. He has absolutely dismantled entire government agencies, targeting the legal community, universities, the arts, the free press. You want to write those off as presidential power moves? Fine. But then explain the rest. The Rose Garden, gutted and paved over to look like a Mar-a-Lago parking lot. The 90,000 square foot ballroom, which will sit where the East Wing is now as nothing but a monument to his own vanity. The ICE budget is now bloated beyond belief, and it is bigger than the militaries of entire countries. And who do you think commands those officers? He controls those officers. So what do you think that means for anyone that tries to remove him from office? That's no longer just an army to enforce immigration laws. That is a private army at the disposal of the President of the United States. He has now seized control of DC. He is flooding the streets with federal law enforcement officers, and he has now deployed the National Guard. Call it what you want, I will call it what it is. Fortification. He is fortifying the city. Any protest, any resistance will be met with brutal, crushing force. His brutal, crushing force. This authoritarian streak, this is what we warned you about, because now he is seizing every executive power he can get his hands on, and he is squeezing it dry. Now, on top of all of that, thanks to the 2024 Supreme Court ruling in Trump v. United States, he has total criminal immunity from any acts that he commits while he is president. So tell me this, now that he has the power, he has the courts, he has the military, he has the Capitol itself in his grip, what makes you think he's gonna leave?
So what do you think? It's gonna start and end with Washington, D.C.? This is just the beginning. Washington's gonna be first. Then we're gonna march our asses into New York. Then we're gonna go into Chicago. Then we're gonna go to Los Angeles. Then we'll probably go up to San Francisco and give Gavin Newsom a hug. Because what we're all saying is that we're tired of the crime. We're tired of the women and children being compromised. We're tired of the dealers standing at the corners waiting for our families to get them high. We're tired of the stealing, the robbing, the murdering. It's over. It's finished. It's done. The police are going to be held accountable and have to report to the feds. That's what we're doing. Because you Democrats are completely out of control. And you Democrats over the last 4 years have aligned with anybody that is in this country that is causing harm or maim to our women and children, and we said we had enough. Oh, so yeah, in Washington right now, the police have been directed that they are going to report directly to the feds. And when we figure this out and make this perfect in Washington, one thing I can promise you, it's coming to a city near you.
What's up, America? Huge illegal alien driver's license scandal out of Kentucky. So multiple Kentucky driver's license branch employees have been secretly selling driver's license to thousands of illegal aliens for years. And when a whistleblower came forward, they fired her for it. So a woman named Melissa Mormon, who was working at the Louisville's license branch, found out that co-workers were selling licenses to illegal aliens for $200. That was taking place apparently 4 to 5 times a day for 2 full years. So the employees were taking the money under the table, and this woman went to tell the supervisors. I immediately let my supervisors know, she said. The undocumented workers would come in groups, and they would get the fake licenses for pay that way. On top of that, she states that the illegal aliens were using social security cards and birth certificates that were forged but appeared to be authentic. So in October 2024, the supervisor submitted these fraud reports. She was interviewed by a detective January 2025, the day after she was interviewed, fired by the DMV. After she was fired after whistleblowing, all of a sudden letters were mailed saying at least 1,546 people were issued driver's licenses in error. Not taking money under the table, which was the truth. They said it was in error. Then on top of that, the agency took 2,300 records and did not give them to investigators, hiding them. Now the U.S. Attorney's Office in Kentucky and the state police are starting to investigate these fuckers. Oh, and the governor was not even aware that this happened, so they hid the fact. They fired this woman for whistleblowing that illegal aliens were buying licenses using forged documents, and they hid it from everybody. They just hid it and then fired her to try to hide their crimes. That's what the city of Louisville in Kentucky does. That's what Kentucky does. So I wonder how many other BMVs or DMVs, whatever you want to call it, depending on your state, is doing this, selling licenses to illegal aliens for under the table pay. I'd like to do an investigation into all of them to find out.
We have some more very serious breaking news updates, and I need your help to get the word out as quickly as possible so that everyone can stay safe. Because not only has it gotten even worse over the last 12 hours here on Monday, but Donnie and the admin are now blaming and specifically going after children for the crime rates. They are targeting children specifically. You heard that correctly, and as always, before I catch you up to date, please make sure you like, rage, comment, repost to get the word out as quickly as possible and follow along for more updates. So in case you're not up to date, Donnie is currently trying to federalize DC and take total control in a very Handmaid's Tale dystopian sort of way. He placed the police under federal control last night, and right now, as of Monday, August 11th, he has activated the National Guard to come in. And today, in a closed-door press conference, he started calling it Liberation Day and blaming children for the violent crime rates he keeps going off about. That's right, even though Washington, D.C. does not have an insane crime rate, and in fact, they're at their lowest violent crime rate in 30 years, when he keeps going off about how he's going to sweep the city and remove all of the criminals and the homeless people, not saying where he's going to send any of them, he's apparently referring to children and the rampant juvenile crime rates, which, again, non-existent. Apparently, he and his admin are working on ways to make it so that you can try 14-year-olds as adults, essentially lowering the age of consent to 14. And they want to be able to apply this to all you-know-what related crimes. What we can only call one of the most messed up attempts to avoid accountability for the FILES situation that he keeps trying to avoid. They are suggesting that we pass things that would try 14-year-olds in any of those sorts of situations as adults, thus making it not illegal. In fact, New Hampshire, West Virginia, Missouri, and Wyoming all recently rewrote laws that allow children to get married, claiming that it lowers abortion rates. Do not let them fool you. They are trying to convince you that 14-year-olds are old enough to be criminals, so obviously 14-year-olds are old enough to be...
There is a deadly respiratory outbreak happening inside of Alligator Alcatraz right now, and it's exactly the disaster that public health experts have warned us about. Attorney Eric Lee said that they began feeling ill about 72 to 100 hours ago. Many of them are having trouble breathing and extreme coughing. They are being denied masks, and they are only given showers once to twice a week. One man collapsed inside of the cage and was hospitalized. He was then transferred to a camp in Texas, but his medical records and even his writings were confiscated. A former corrections officer that worked there said she got COVID from the unsanitary conditions, porta-johns, backed-up bathrooms, no hot water, no sunlight. The CDC has warned for years that detention centers are the perfect place for outbreaks. They are overcrowded, there's no ventilation, there's limited medical care, and that warning is coming true again. But this time it could not have been more predictable. This place was built in the Everglades, in tents, in trailers with no infrastructure, in the swamp heat. It was made for suffering, and the people are paying for it with their health. People are suffering now because we chose to ignore these warnings, and that suffering that is happening inside is also a public health crisis that could spread out.
Guys, like, I think the children should be left out of this because the children are not the one that voted for this. Yeah, they are not the one that voted for it, and they should be left out. This is what happens when you ignore all the red lights. I could remember during this election when people tried their possible best to warn the MAGAs, to educate them, to really let them know what they were voting for. But most of these people refuses to hear. They refuses to collaborate. They refuses to listen to the people trying to educate them. And now look at what really your vote has really cost. Look at the damages, look at the struggles, look at the in fact, name them. Like, how should I even measure them? This is what you choose. This is what you believe. So right now there has been a harsh reality. A lot of the people who voted are now beginning to find out, saying that, oh, this is not part of the vote, that this is not part of the plan, that this is not part of the agreement. Oh my goodness. There was this particular woman that I listened to, and this woman was telling the people that if they come for the immigrants, that definitely that they must come for you as well. And people were like, no, he only promised to deport the illegal immigrants, and this is already happening because they are already coming for you people. Yeah, because I understand that most of you voted for him to deport the illegal immigrants, but one way or the other he is also going to come for you guys. Yeah. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section. Don't forget to like my video and don't forget to subscribe.